Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from. My name is Glado Bendo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be making a bikini skirt and let's get right into it. I have my 3.5mm crochet hook right there, and I have this yarn that I'm not sure what the color is. Is it orange? Oh god, my color is as blind as love itself. But I have also my pair of scissors, and let's start by unraveling that yarn. These are just pattern remains from my previous project, and let's start by making the signature loop. Yeah, okay, that's how we make it. Yeah, but before we begin, let's measure the length of our waist. The length of my waist. Yeah, my waist is 36. Yeah, 36, and that's what you're going to measure so that we can make a foundation chain of 36 inches long. Yeah, so we're going to make our foundation chain. That was around 120 stitches, or rather 120 chains. Yeah, so let's begin. Let's make that foundation chain, yeah, to 36 inches. You can make any size depending on the size of your waist. What I usually advise people is measure your waist. Literally take the length, the chain, and just wrap it around your waist so that you can make sure that it's comfortable. So I'm trying to confirm whether I have made a chain that is long enough to reach 36 inches. Yeah. That's what I'm doing right there. I didn't have enough space to spread my tape measure, but yeah, found a way. Don't pull it so much. Just don't stretch it so much. Just put it around your waist and make sure that it's comfortable. Yeah, so there we are, and we are about to begin into the next row. So you connect one end of the chain to the other, yeah, and we connect it using a slip stitch, yeah, to the very first chain that you made right there. Insert your hook, yeah, insert your hook on the very first chain that you made. Sorry for the blurriness. Yeah, yes, insert your hook, pull through, and pull through into the other loop. That's a slip stitch, and then make a chain right there. So we're going to make a row of single crochets. Yeah, we're going to make a row of single crochets around the circle that we just made, and that's how you make a single crochet. Insert your hook, pull through, then pull through all. Yeah, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. So that's the pattern that you're going to use, and I will be making a few single crochets so that you can learn with me. Insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through all. Yes, that's a single crochet. As you can see, the pattern is already forming. A very nice pattern of single crochets. Let's make a few more. You're doing great. Let's make a few more. You're doing great. And that's the pattern that you're going for. Single crochets, and you'll be doing that around the chain from where we began to back to where we began. Yeah. Yes, so we met again, and we're going to connect the two parts. As you can see, one end is raised and the other one is also raised. So we're going to slip our hook through the very first single crochet that you made on top of the very first single crochet. Insert your hook, yeah, like that, then yarn over and pull through all. There we made a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain one so that you can make another row of single crochets around, so that you can make the waistband a little bit thicker, just a little bit. Yeah, so let's make another round of single crochets, but make sure that your the row that you have made, or rather the chain that you have made, is well aligned so that you don't get confused. Once you get to the end of the row of single crochets and you're about to connect the two ends. Yeah, so I made sure that it's well aligned and began. I'd already made my chain of one, so yeah, insert your hook right there on the very first stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Oh, sorry about that, the camera is a bit not focusing so well. Insert your hook, yeah, right there, we got the focus. Pull through, insert your hook, yarn over, insert your hook. Yes, you're making yet another round of single crochets around a circle. Yes, and as you can see, it's getting thicker, so I'm gonna wait on you. Let's meet right at the end, and there we are. That's what we made, and we're going to connect those two ends. So insert your hook right there. We're making a slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through all. So here we are about to transition to another pattern of mesh, and you're going to chain 3 to, that's the length of a double crochet. Yeah, that will act as our double crochet, and then we're going to make 3 more stitches, so we have 6, and we're going to skip 2 stitches at the bottom and make a double crochet on the 3rd stitch. As you can see, we made a box. Yeah, I will call it a box. Yeah, we made a box. That's the mesh pattern that you're getting into, and that's my favorite part of the skirt. So let's chain 3 at this moment. Let's chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we skip 2, 1, 2, and into the 3rd one we make a half double crochet. You see how easy that is? It's very easy. It's so simple. Yeah, and there we are. We've made 2 boxes. Okay, let's make 3 chains. Yeah, and then we skip 2, and into the 3rd we make a double crochet, and that's the pattern that you're going to use around our skirt from where we started back to where we started. We are making the mesh pattern of this skirt. It's pretty. It's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna wait on you until you get into the pace, and you're going to meet right where we started. Just go around with the same pattern, and let's meet where we started. And there we are. We're remaining with a bit of a smaller space, but don't worry. Let's connect that end to the other. Chain 3. It doesn't matter the size of box that will be formed. It is a way of us to proceed to the next stage. Yeah, there's no way we can rectify that, but a good thing with crochet, you can do anything with what you have. There we are. We made a slip stitch right there to connect the 2 ends, and there we have quite a good box, even though the shape doesn't look like the others, but who will know? So right there, be careful. we're going to make a slip stitch in the first chain, and again into the second chain, which will take us right into the middle of our box. Yeah, it will take us right into the middle of our box right there. As you can see, then we chain 3 and another 3 chains to make it a total of 6, just like we began. And then you make a double crochet right in the middle of the next box. I hope you saw that. Yeah, as you can see, we made a box. That is the second row of our mesh pattern. Okay, you're making a double crochet right there. You see? So let's chain 3. Let's chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we make a double crochet into the next box, just like that. And that's the pattern that you're going to use around into the second row of the mesh pattern. Yeah, it's very easy, very easy. As you can see, we are making our second row of the mesh pattern, and that's how it looks. And you're going to do that all around, and we just met at the end. There we are. There we are. So let's connect the 2 ends. And 1, 2, 3. Onto the 3rd chain, you connect that with a slip stitch. How beautiful. You're doing great. So let's make those slip stitches. 1, 2, and this will take us in the middle of that box. Then let's chain 6. Do you remember the 6 chains? Yeah, we started 3, then the next 3, and that will help us make a double crochet into the next box. You see that? That's the pattern that you're going to use to the end of the skirt. Yeah, so we are in the 3rd row of our mesh pattern. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the next box. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And that's how we'll be doing it until we meet where we began. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go. And there we are. There we are. We just met at the end of it, and we will connect those 2 ends with a slip stitch here. And that's the end of our mesh rows. We have 23 rows of the mesh pattern. 23 rows. But we're going to take our tape measure and measure the length just to be sure, and those are 13 inches. Yeah, we made a total of 13 inches. That's the length of our skirt from the waistband to the end. And we're going to get into another pattern where we are finishing the end of the skirt so that it can look more beautiful and appealing. Yeah, so where we ended our last pattern, we're going to chain 1, then go under into the box and make a single crochet. Yes, that's a single crochet. Then you chain 1, yeah, make a a double crochet. Make a double crochet into the next box, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Here we have 3 chains, then insert your hook right there at the beginning of the 3 chains, pull through and pull through all. So we made a bubble right there. If you look very closely, that's a bubble. Yeah. So chain 1 again, then make a double crochet right in the same place that you made the first double crochet. So we'll have the second double crochet, then chain 3 again to make that bubble. Yeah. So insert your hook right at the beginning of the 3 chains and pull through all. Yet another bubble. Yeah, you see what you're forming right there? Yes. So chain 1, make another double crochet in the same place so that you can have 3 double crochets and 3 bubbles. Then chain 3. Yes, 3 chains, and right at the beginning of the 3 chains, insert your hook, pull through and pull through all. So you can make more of these. You can make more of these. Yeah, to create that pattern, but for me, I prefer making 3 double crochets in the same box. Yeah, so let's chain 1 again and go under there and make a single crochet. Yeah, a single crochet. You see what we just did, right? Yeah. So it's like a curve but with bubbles on top of it. Okay, let's chain 1, then make a double crochet in the next box, and then chain 3 to make that bubble. Yeah, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, then bubble up. Instead you go under there, then you pull through. Yeah, we have a bubble right there. Then chain 1, then make a double crochet and chain 3 and make that bubble, as you can see. So let's chain 1 to make another, sorry about that, it's actually chain 1. Yeah, chain 1 to make another double crochet so that we can have 3 double crochets right there. So bubble up, yeah, chain 3 and insert your hook in there to make that bubble. Yeah, so as you can see, that's the pattern that you're making, the bubble pattern as I call it. And that's how we're going to finish our skirts, so that the ends of our skirts at the bottom look that pretty. You're going to repeat the same pattern until you get to where you began. So just go around making the bubble pattern until the end. So let's meet there. So we've come to an end of a bubble pattern, and we're going to make a slip stitch right at the very end where we have that chain of 3. Yeah, make a slip stitch and chain 1 to secure your yarn. Okay, take your pair of scissors and cut that yarn right there. Cut it. Yes, and pull it over and secure it very well. And there we go. We have our skirt well finished. And we're going back to the waistband. Let's go back to the waistband. Take a yarn, make a hook. So we're going to make another row of single crochets right at the top of the waistband. Single crochets, but they should be spaced in between, like very tiny boxes. Yeah, that you're going to use to put a string in between. So as you can see, we are making single crochet, the very first single crochet, then chain 1, you skip 1 and make another single crochet in the next chain. That's our waistband, guys. That's our waistband. So chain one, skip one, and make a single crochet at the top. So as you can see, we are making like small spaces that you're going to insert a string that will secure our waist, just in case your waist is bigger or larger or loose. You need to make sure that you have a string that you will pull and secure your waist band very well so that the skirt doesn't fall off. Chain one, insert your hook, make a double crochet right there, sorry, a single crochet. Chain one, skip one, make a single crochet, chain one again. That's the pattern that you're going to make until we get to where we began. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Make a single crochet, space using a chain one, and it also thickens the waistband. Yeah, makes the waistband look a little bit thicker. So that's it, guys. We've come to an end of our single crochets that we were making, and we're going to join the two ends using a slip stitch. Yeah, let's make a slip stitch right there, and then we're going to repeat a row of single crochets around on top of the pattern that we made. Chain one right there, and insert your hook in the spaces that you made, then make a double crochet, then insert your hook into the next chain, make a double crochet, and we have the next space right there. Insert your hook, make a single crochet, insert your hook, single crochet, insert your hook to the space, single crochet, insert your hook into that single crochet, and that's how we're going to do it so that our spaces become more wide and visible. Yeah. And also it helps finish the waistband so that it looks neat. As you can see, that's the pattern that you're making right there, and those are the spaces that I was talking about. It may seem hard to understand and a bit complicated, but if you repeat it and watch what I'm doing very well, you'll be able to see clearly. Yeah. And once you get to the next thing that you'll be doing, you will understand what I am doing right there. Yeah, so you're going to make that all round, and let's meet at the end right where we began. And there we are. Connect the two ends using a slip stitch. Yeah, a slip stitch right there. Insert your hook, pull through and pull through. Oh, and that's our waistband, guys. Let's make another slip stitch to secure that waistband, then chain one and cut your yarn. Yes, cut your yarn. And then you hide those ends so that your skirt can be neat. And let me show you a little bit of how I hide my ends. I turn it into the wrong side, then pull the ends inside. Yeah, I pull the ends inside, all the loose ends or all the cut ends. I make sure that I pull them inside into the wrong side and pair them into two. As you can see, I'm trying to bring one closer to the other so that I can pair them into two and make a knot to secure the loose yarn, just like what I'm doing right there. And then I only have that and an extra loose end hanging on the side, so I'll just cut one end and pull. Okay, you can just do it whichever way you prefer. I know you have different ways of hiding your yarn, but that's how I do it. Yeah, that's how I do it, especially in this skirt. So you can do it any other way. You can just choose to cut it from where it begins, but make sure you secure it well so that it doesn't open and compromise your skirt being loose or unraveling. And there we are. We have a skirt with a waistband, and let's make that string that we will put around our waist so that secure our waistband very well. Let's make a chain of around 120, just almost close to what you made initially. Okay, you can choose to make a longer one. Yeah, so that maybe it hangs down your bellies. Yeah, it looks good sometimes when it's longer, so you can choose to make a longer one. So once you're done, grab one end of your waistband, the other, and fold the skirt into two so that you can know where the middle is. That's just a rough estimate of getting where the middle of the skirt is. Yeah, so that you can start pulling through the string that you made. Yeah, pull through this string that you made, just like how I am doing it. Pull it in and run it through the waistband into the spaces. Yeah, pull it under, then on top, under, then on top. In that, I don't know, am I making sense? Yeah, you pull it under, then run it on top, just like that, around the waistband. Yeah, so that it can pull your waist or snatch your waist. That's the word. It can snatch your waist. Because sometimes you make the waist a little bit loose because you want it to either go through your hips or your bust when you're wearing it. So that string will help you snatch your waist and make sure that the skirt fits. So you'll do that around your waist, just like that, and look at it. That's how it will be, and you will be pulling it like that to secure it very well around your waist. And our skirt is coming along. Our skirt is coming along. So we're going to to put a flower right where I'm pointing at for I'd made this flower like off camera, but maybe I'll make a video in the future to show you how to do it. You can also find other videos on YouTube so that you can see how the flower is done. Yeah, so we're going to make another long string just like the one that you made for the waistband. We'll be using it right under that flower before we secure it to the skirt. Yeah, so we have our string, and let me show you how we're going to attach it to the skirt. Yeah, remove that flower, attach the string first, count like 3 rows down, 2, 3, yeah, around there. Just put your flower around there. That's where the flower will be. So let's attach the string right there. Put it under one of the boxes and pull it into that loop. Watch closely because some steps I'm losing words on how to explain them, but watching it will make you understand better. And then right where that knot is, you're going to attach your flower. Yeah, attach that flower into the skirt. Sorry guys, I made that off camera, but you can find it on YouTube, on other YouTube videos, or you can make any other flower that you're accustomed with so that you can make your skirt beautiful. So let's attach our flower, guys. Let's attach it. As you can see, there are two ends, or rather, yeah, the two ends. You can start with those, pull them around, pull them into the wrong side of the skirt, like how I am doing it. Yeah, start by pulling one end in. It's so messy. Oh my god. Okay, let's just use my hand. Yeah, pull that in. Yeah, and pull the other one in, just like that, but don't pull them in one space. Separate them in separate space so that you can secure that like that. But that's not it. It's not yet secure. So we'll do more to make sure that it's well secured. Okay, that's enough. Cut those ends already. Yeah. So I take my scissors and cut those ends, and then turn back to where my flower is. So I'll take my needle. Yes, my needle, the normal needle for sewing. Yeah, and start sewing around the flower, attaching it into the mesh patterns. So let's start from the middle, but do it from the wrong side so that it doesn't create a mess on the outside. Yeah, yes, that's how I do it. I don't know, you can use any other way to attach it, but that's how I do it. um, so let's attach that flower so that it may look secure and settled. It doesn't have to look like it's dancing around each time you walk. So look closely, look very closely. As you can see, there are petals right there, but we will go into the second flower from the the second petal from the middle of the flower. You'll go into the second petal, but from the inside of the flower, and you're going to sew right there. As you can see, I'm pulling my string, and that's how. And you don't just sew any space. Make sure that you sew into spaces that you can hide the yarn very well, and then you pull that in order and attach it to a fitting end of the mesh patterns. Yeah, just watch what I do, guys. Watch what I do. Whatever I'm saying might not make sense, but whatever I do right there definitely does make sense. So let's keep that, and let's do that around the petals. But as I said, the second petal from the middle of the flower. So I'll leave you to it, and let's meet right at the end of it. Once I'm done sewing my flower, it doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure that it's secure. Yeah, you can improvise, you can do it your own way once you see that mine is complicated. So let's meet at the end of it. And there we are with our flower on the skirt, and I will show you the next step. Let me show you the next step, what we will do. So we're going to have the two strings attached to the flower, crisscrossing on the rows of the mesh pattern, and I'll show you why we're doing this. So start with the one end of the string and just do as I am doing on the video. Crisscross it from the top to the bottom, top to the bottom, until you get all the way down to the skirt. Yeah, So watch what I'm doing closely and repeat it so that you may get it right. All the way down to the end of the skirt, and we're getting right at the end of the skirt, so watch very closely so that you don't miss any step. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now you go back and do the other row all alone, because that's where I will meet you right at the end of it. Do the next one. Yeah. And voila, we have our 2 strings. And you see the magic? Pull it up. Pull it up. You can pull it at any length that you want. If you want it high up your thigh. Did you hear that? High up your thigh. Yeah, so you can pull it up and knot it down there. Just like that. You can tie the way you want, but I love it to hang it in that butterfly pattern, just like that. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a skirt, complete and pretty. In my previous video, I had made a bikini bottom which can very well match with this. So go back and watch that and make your bikini bottom to match with this one so that you can slay at the beach. Above all, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.